Yes, this is my first time visiting the Bazaar. I think it's fantastic to have lots of Guyanese products in display. Apart from the products and the benefits of that, it's the social aspect of meeting fellow Guyanese and networking. I think it's a wonderful event, and I hope it continues for many years to come.
Hi there, Browne here with you. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Feel free to like, subscribe, come with me. Let's go behind my time tunnel and see what's happening there. Hi there, Browne with you. Yes, I'm back on the attack, as we say. Been a while, but I'm here. Looking this time at the Christmas Bazaar that was been put off by the Guyana Speaks team. And this was held, of course, for Christmas, bringing Guyanese together, looking at the various commodities available. And it was a great day, looking at some of the rums. Of course, Christmas is here. You can't have Christmas without the black cake, a Guyanese Christmas, the rums, the garlic pork, the pastries. Of course, so much is happening. You know, Christmas is just the thing, the baked chicken. But yes, it was fun out there today. It was declared by opened by High Commissioner Hamley Case. There were speeches by Mr. Orne Alexander and the team. But let's go behind and let's catch up and have a Merry Christmas with the Guyana Speaks team here in London.
So please, a warm welcome to His Excellency Hamley Case.
Thank you very much. I am now not only the High Commissioner to the Court of St. James or the United Kingdom, as they say, but also non-resident ambassador to France, Spain, Ireland, Slovakia, Russia, Latvia, Slovenia, Slovakia, and Iceland. So if you don't see too much of me next year, you will understand why. I've got my excuse already. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Guyanese, West Indians and others, it is an honor for me to be here today during the festive season. As I entered the room, I saw people, faces that I recognize, people I know, and lots of Guyanese craft, and I imagine there's Guyanese food and drink somewhere. I was instantly reminded of the marvelous Christmases I enjoyed in Guyana and hope to still enjoy, because I believe that our Christmases are unique. I did a count, I think it was yesterday. I've spent Christmas in about 35 countries, and none of them compare to Guyana. Guyana Christmas is special, and I'm sure you will all agree with me. I welcome you all to today's event, which seeks to showcase Guyana through its culture and its food, while at the same time raising awareness and funds towards the prevention of teenage suicide in Guyana. POTS, as the organization is called, as the project is called. At the same time, I wish on behalf of the government of Guyana and on my own behalf to congratulate Guyana Speaks for their laudable efforts and action in organizing today's events, and also for such a robust and highly successful 2018 program. I have no doubt that next year, 2019, will be just as successful, thought-provoking, and instructive, and therefore urge you to continue supporting these events. As a result of 2 visits made to Aberdeen this year, there now exists a budding relationship between the universities of Aberdeen, Heriot-Watt and Robert Gordon in Scotland. These are all universities that have established disciplines in the oil and gas sector. Aberdeen, as I'm sure you know, is the powerhouse in the United Kingdom oil and gas industry, largely due to the North Sea oil development. Consequently, there is much we can learn, we as Guyanese can learn from Aberdeen and from Scotland in general. To this end, we are also working on the twinning of Aberdeen and Georgetown. early next year, and there will be a reciprocal mission to Guyana from Aberdeen in January, led by their Lord Provost, who's in fact their mayor, but they use the term Lord Provost. As you know, the oil and gas sector is new to Guyana, and technical and vocational training needs to be built so that we have the capacity to manage the resource along with the major investors like Exxon, SGNOC, and whoever else. About 6 weeks ago, I was in Russia and had meetings with Guyanese youngsters studying there. Many of them are learning oil and gas technology, and they're doing so in Russian, would you believe? The only one word I learned when I was there, I've forgotten by the time I arrived back in London. I think it was thank you, how to say thank you in Russian. I don't remember what it is. Everyone asked me when I came back, what is President, well, they said President Putin, they said Putin, what is Putin like? And I said to all of them, exactly like you see on television. But the amusing thing, if it is amusing, is the day before I met with his foreign minister, a chap by the name of Lavrov. You may have seen him on television, especially during the Salisbury problem. And he said that President Putin speaks fluent German and fluent English. So I expected him to speak to me in English, but he spoke to me entirely in Russian. Fortunately, there was an interpreter there. But what I found amazing, I spoke to him about Venezuela, and he responded in about 3 to 4 minutes. And what she said, claimed he said, she did in about 3 seconds. So I was quite puzzled by that, but you know, that's the nature of diplomacy. He probably said, get lost. I have no idea what he said. I take the opportunity to urge you, the Guyanese diaspora here in the UK, to encourage your children and grandchildren and relatives to take up studies in the oil and gas disciplines, so in time they can be meaningfully involved in our country's oil and gas future. Exxon alone, and I'm sure you know this, has discovered in the region of 5 billion barrels of recoverable oil offshore. Several other companies are also exploring or about to do so. There is the Spanish company Repsol, there's British Tullow, there's Guyanese Canadian CGX, as well as an Israeli company, and several others trying to get in, like the Russian company Rosneft and the Malaysian company. Years ago, even before I became a High Commissioner, I was in business, I'm a private sector person, and I had to chase investors and beg them to take an interest in Guyana, which they always confuse with Ghana. Now the table has turned and they're chasing me. So it's a nice turnaround. In other words, Guyana's future looks bright, and prosperity for all Guyanese lies around the corner. You're all invited to get involved and share in the wealth and happiness. And in the meanwhile, let's enjoy a little bit of Guyana here in London today. I mentioned earlier I was in Russia about 6 weeks ago, and the Guyanese students that I met there, I am to some extent their High Commissioner as well, because we no longer have any representation in Russia. So I said to them, what can I do for you when I get back to London? Expecting to hear lofty things about sending this book or that book or this document or whatever. And they said that what they miss most is bygone choka, Gail Baka and Hassa curry, baigani, cassava balls, and kalunji. Does anybody know what kalunji is?
Yes.
You do?
Karaila.
That's right, yes. So I've got a task within the next few weeks to find these things and try to get them to Moscow.
Oh.
So wish me luck.
Yes.
And do enjoy your day and your Christmas. Thank you all for coming.
Before we open all the proceedings, I actually just wanted to invite up Oren Alexander, who's the president of GUSTA, As you know, the whole point of the Border Bazaar here, apart from networking and apart from coming together and enjoying everything Guyanese, is about remembering people back in Guyana. And we heard earlier on the BBC this year that Guyana unfortunately has the highest rate of suicide in the world amongst women and the second highest amongst men. And one of the things they really highlighted on the BBC report was the situation with teenagers. So of course this year we've decided to support POTS, which is a prevention of teenage suicide. So I just wanted, Oren Alexander, if you could come up please, and just say a few words about that. Thank you.
Excellency, thank you, Anita. Good afternoon all, fellow Guyanese and friends. The Guyana-UK Social Development Association, GUSDA, extends congratulations to Guyana Speaks for yet another successful Border Bazaar and for keeping the conversation about Guyana and things Guyanese going. This is also an occasion to publicly congratulate Guyana Speaks on being awarded the 2018 Guyana High Commission UK Awards for service to the Guyanese community. Congrats. I know we are here in the presence of other recipients of the UK High Commission Awards, the lovely Samantha Truss, previous recipients Keith Wade, and a few others I think are around. Aubrey Bryan is included in that list, and none other than our host, venue host, Tafawa Nchune, Arif Ali. So congrats to them all. We in GUSDA remain keen to collaborate with other organizations that support our aims and objectives. And this year we are pleased once again to embark on yet another collaborative activity with Guyana Speaks. Last year at this very event, we were pleased to add our voice to their appeal for funds for an outboard engine for the Wakapo community in Guyana. And this year, Guyana Speaks is supporting our efforts at tackling the issue of suicide prevention in Guyana. As has already been said, Guyana has one of the highest rates of suicide in the world. And I think at its peak it was some 44.2 persons per 100,000 persons in Guyana. About 5 times the world average. Now this has spurred the growth of a number of organizations, including the Prevention of Teenage Suicide Guyana organization, POTS. Earlier this year, we in GUSDA engaged with POTS to find out a bit more about what the organization is doing and to establish what we could do to assist in protecting the lives of our young people in Guyana. Now, POTS was funded by Lisa Punch, a former Miss World, as a non-profit, non-governmental organization. And its mission is to reduce the prevalence of suicide in Guyana through greater access to information, resources, and support. Its purpose is to address, educate, coordinate, and provide materials to eradicate suicide and attempted suicide on a local and global level among teens and young adults. As a result of extensive deliberations via focus group deliberations, POTS has developed a number of initiatives aimed at suicide prevention and helping young people to lead more positive lives. POTS has highlighted the prevalence of depression and social disconnect with the many young people who have approached them for help. The absence of a family unit willing to listen, support, and offer guidance and counseling during the depression and suicidal thoughts was identified as a key contributing factor. So what does POTS actually do? In the main, POTS targets schools and runs a helpline called G-Talk. In 2015, POTS launched the Stay Alive, Yes to Living campaign, which resulted in visits to some 60 schools to raise awareness on suicide prevention and intervention. The success of that campaign was confirmed by the high number of calls received by the helpline following those visits. Now, this achievement was possible through the collaboration with organizations including the Guyana Ministries of Health, Education, social protection, and others. And also included the telephone service provider, GT&T. The POTS intends to, or aims to have a POTS club in almost every secondary school in Guyana. They also conduct suicide prevention walks to raise awareness. This year in September, on the occasion of the International Suicide Prevention Day, POTS hosted their third suicide prevention walk, which attracted a huge response, and which ended at the 1763 monument, where participants were addressed by the Minister for Public Health. Now, apart from the Stay Alive campaign, which is a countrywide campaign, POTS have also developed the Be the One campaign, which focuses on Region 6, Babies, as this region was found to have the highest suicide rate. This campaign is geared to encouraging persons to be their brother's keeper and to be the ones to notice when something is wrong with a family or friend. However, due to the lack of ongoing funding for its campaigns, the organization is finding it difficult to keep the momentum going. Now, funds are needed primarily towards materials, brochures, flyers, accommodation, transportation, meals, and such, which are critical to conducting those visits. So it's against this background that GUSDA has been exploring the work of POTS and seeing how it can be supported financially. And we welcome the contribution that Guyana Speaks and the funds raised today, what a contribution can make, as part of a collaborative approach with GUSDA. Now, the costs of conducting those campaigns are not insignificant for small organizations such as ours. It's over, as reported by POTS, 1.5 million Guyana dollars per region, which is approximately £6,000. As such, we're seeking to ensure that our financial support, however small, results in a tangible outcome. Now, more information on POTS can be found on the internet. Their website is ptsorganization, spelled with a Z, .wixsite.com. And there's also a GoFundMe page for those who wish to donate through this channel if you're unable to support our activities here this afternoon. Our youth are our future. So allow me to extend heartfelt thanks to those who have already donated towards such a worthy cause, and to encourage others to donate or otherwise support the works of POTS and other organizations tackling the scourge of suicide. Wishing you all the best for the festive season. Thank you.
And then as I move around, there's Forever Living products, and the Forever Living products has a number of aloe vera products in place. There's a book on aloe vera, which you can look at. There is also Look Better for Better. These are all material there's aloe vera lotion, all on the health side, done by Forever Living. It's all happening here at the Border Bazaar and Tooting in London. Christmas Bazaar happens once a year, and this is really a very good initiative by the Guyana Speaks team. Well, there are a number of Guyanese greeting cards and special offers well put together. And if we look across that, you can see so much more. And then there craft again. Still looking at craft. In all descriptions, there's some very, very well decorated craft here. Look well. And if you look around that, it's really well put together. And then there's Parika Market and the Parika Delights. And I say Parika Market because there's lots of very good condiments here. There's things like cakes, Christmas cakes, and there's of course the bread which you can have, and there's a little black cake. Is that sponge or black cake? I think I'll have a look into that sometime along. And moving around, there's much more.
But obviously for me, Guyana Speaks is very much about celebrating the success and the amazing work that people, that Guyanese have achieved everywhere. And I know that the High Commissioner mentioned that Rod and I had got an award for our contribution to Guyanese society. But in actual fact, what I find wonderful is the achievements of Dr. Samantha Truss, who won Guyanese of the Year award. So if I could please invite Samantha to come up and say a few words and share with us words about her success.
Thank you. Good afternoon all. Thank you, Anita. His Excellency, fellow Guyanese, it's an honor to be asked to come and speak to you today. And my remit is to sort of give you an idea of the keys to my success. For those of you who don't know me, I am an orthopedic surgeon, specializing in treating conditions of the hip and knee. And 13 years ago, when I became a consultant, I became the first woman of African Caribbean origin to become a consultant in the UK. I achieved another first this year by becoming the first woman in Europe to perform robotic hip surgery. Other achievements, I received the Black British Business Award for the STEM category. I have been profiled in the Black Power list of 100 most influential Black Britons in the UK for the last 7 years. Profiled in Tatler, 100 most influential doctors in the UK. And profiled in a book by Browne Wilkins, which is part of the national curriculum. So, how did I get here? Well, I grew up in Guyana, and I'm fortunate to be the product of Gwendolyn and Sammy Tross. And for those of you who don't know my parents, they're formidable parents, and they've been my role models and inspiration. My mom was a nurse and set up a degree program of nursing in Guyana. My father's an accountant, and when he got his qualifications, he was the youngest man in Guyana to have that qualification. So you can see I came from great stock. And achieving was never of any doubt. You know, growing up back in the Caribbean in those days, you knew that there were certain professions that you were expected to go into. You know, become a lawyer, doctor, engineer, the sort of key career types. But I don't think my parents ever forced me to go into medicine. It was an idea I came up with all on my own. I was apparently 7 years old when I said I'm going to be a surgeon when I grew up. I didn't say doctor, I said surgeon. I have no idea why. I mean, with my mom being in nursing, maybe spending some time with her in the hospital gave me the idea. But I also had elderly relatives who lived at home. My grandmother and great aunt and so on, who died at home. So I witnessed death at a very young age, and that may have been of an influence. But for me, I think the key stages for me for my success, and perhaps I think the stages for success in general, are first of all a desire to achieve, to have the ability. I think you need to be resourceful, resilient, and then you have to be prepared to put in good old-fashioned hard work. And so the desire to become a medic came from myself. And obviously, seeing people who look like me in positions of authority further cemented the idea that I could be successful. In terms of ability, I was fortunate enough to be able and did very well in school. I passed common entrance for Queen's College, although I never quite got there, but I still consider myself to be a QC girl. Due to my father's work commitments, I ended up in the UK. And when I got to the UK, I realized how exceptional the Guyanese education was. Because there again, I found myself coming top of the class. That changed, however. I mean, once I got to university, I suddenly became, you know, part of the pack. You know, you suddenly get an awakening when you get to university. You used to be on top, and then all of a sudden you're just somewhere in the middle. But you know, I managed to successfully get through that and decide to become a surgeon. And one of the reasons that I chose orthopedic surgery is that I was naturally quite good at anatomy, and the first female surgeon I ever saw was an orthopedic surgeon, and that certainly had an impact. The reason I like orthopedic surgery, it's a specialty in which you can treat both young, old, male and female. There are so many subcategories in that. You can specialize in hands and spines and foot and ankle, whatever. And unless you're working in a trauma center, then most orthopedic operations are done during daylight hours. And for someone who likes their bed, I can tell you that suits me very well. And of course, whilst there may be negative aspects to being a woman in orthopedics, and particularly a black woman, who there wasn't anyone before, I use that to my advantage. I mean, you know, you've got to use your resources to your best advantage, so I did. But I can assure you, that was all done vertically. And what else can I say? In terms of hard work, well, there's just no way about it. If you want to be successful, you've got to be prepared to put in the hard work. So, you know, in summary, I would say that when someone is choosing a career, I think you've got to be passionate about it. You've got to be passionate, and if you're passionate, that will radiate outwards, and then you will get people to buy into your idea and then to support you. You've got to be prepared to do hard work. I think it's important to have a support network. If you can have a mentor. But certainly surround yourself with people who are going to be supportive. And don't be afraid to work hard. Organizations such as Guyana Speaks, I think, is incredibly important because, as I said, growing up in Guyana, I had role models that I can look up to. And it's so important for the younger generation to be able to see that and to see the achievements of other Guyanese. So thank you guys for putting that on. And also, I think it's so important that we do mentorship programs. And I know there are quite a few around. There's the Guyana Caribbean STEM. Roll Paris is here from that. There's the other organizations such as Generating Genius. And there are numerous other mentorship programs around. I think that's incredibly important. And lastly, in terms of the supportive network, I think community is important. And I think that's what's so special with us Guyanese people, is that we're there, that we do support each other, and we need to continue doing that. So thank you very much.
And so we'll prepare for some entertainment done by Keith Waite, Aubrey Bryan, and they will be bringing us some musical rendition here at the Bazaar, the Christmas Bazaar here at the Classic Club in the United Kingdom. Celebrating Christmas Guyanese style. Carl Browne here with you, and I hope you are enjoying and being a part of this excitement today. Well, here, Rod Westmus is here, and he's got some sorrel. It's one of the big things. Sorrel.
We have my special recipe sorrel. You can't beat it. There's cloves. There's the hibiscus flower, which is the sorrel, of course, as well as sugar, water, and ginger, and that's it. But there's a little special touch. I can't tell you.
Rod Westmus and his sorrel, and a lot that he has today.
I don't throw away my wine bottles, by the way. I'm not ashamed about that. I drink plenty of red wine, and I keep the bottles. Yeah.
Hello everyone. Right, today is very busy. A couple of friends have come and they bought some calves rib. The seasonings have been selling really well. I'm almost out of stock with spring, but it's wonderful. The atmosphere is very good. It was wonderful to meet Samantha, and it's good to see our High Commissioner looking so well. Yes. Wonderful range of stores. I can't get round enough at the moment. I want to buy that, I want to buy that, I want to buy that, I want to buy that. So yeah, well done. Thank you.
Merry Christmas to everyone. I don't know who's watching, but a very Merry Christmas to you and all the very best of 2019. Thank you.
There's Ya Arts, and this is, I think this was done by Michel Ya Santo, and their calendars all well designed and focused on the African is Earth Day blessings, of course, as well. Very interesting if we look at this from this point of view. I'm actually at the Bazaar today, and one of the things about it is that we have produced rums in Guyana, from El Dorado to XM. I don't know if they had it, I can recall they had one called Russian Beer, but XM is here. And I remember doing something earlier this year about XM, and a lot of people said to me they did not know about XM rum because it never existed. But it does. And right now I've got someone who actually brought the XM product into the UK, and I hope it is going to be the best thing that has ever happened for this Christmas. And I'll ask him to say a little bit more about himself and what he's doing.
Okay. Hi everyone. Charles Fraser from WNC Fraser Limited. Born and bred Guyanese, living in the UK for a long time. We're music people, so we started Vision Sound Promotions, and through that, with association in Guyana itself, got links to DIH. George MacDonald, general manager, a lovely friend of my brother Walter Fraser, made the introduction and gave us the opportunity to bring XM rums, Banks beer, and basically DIH products to the UK. We were given the opportunity as initially sole distributors, but we can understand that it's a business and it's a going concern. So there will be other folks who will be doing pretty much the same thing. But XM, when I was a kid, was what my father drank. That was what we indulged in. It seemed to have gone out of favor, perhaps in Europe. I am not sure at home in Guyana. But our goal is to bring XM back to the fore, to compete with any other rums in the world. So we're based in East London. We import, we pay our duties, we do everything as required. It's legitimate, there is no on the hand, everything is superb. XM is an absolutely brilliant rum. High wines are there as well. You name it, we will do it. And we will deliver to you where you are. Thank you.
Great, so we're looking for 2019. We actually 2018 actually, 2019. New year, 2019. 2019. We're looking at a flood of XM products in the European and UK markets. Some of the products we have, like looking at XM 5-year-old, there's the XM 7-year-old. There are quite a few other products on the XM brand as well. Would you be bringing any other brands apart from like the liqueurs as well as?
Essentially, we will do DIH range of products, XM rums. So 15-year-old, 12-year-old, 10-year-old, 7, 5. XM mature. We are looking at the cream liqueurs as well. But there was initially a problem with that. Hopefully that is now remedied. So the whole range of DIH products we will have for 2019.
Absolutely wonderful. Look, first of all, before I go, there's the grenades. I saw the grenades, and everyone goes after the grenades and the high wine. The two major ones, high wines for cold, the old Guyanese remedy. You have a bit of cold, get some high wine and lime or lemon. So we have really got the whole Guyanese product on the market, isn't it?
The high wine is surprisingly, for a very strong rum, it's 69% alcohol by volume, stronger than Ray and Nephew, and I personally think a better taste than Ray and Nephew. Not wishing to be discriminatory, but as growing up as a child, you have a cold, you mix that with your ginger, your lime, a little bit of salt, and it will take care of that. The older folks used to use it for rubbing, as well as lubricating inside.
With that, I will say welcome XM to the UK and Europe. It's a great happening to have XM on the market again.
Thank you very much. We look forward to supplying not only the UK, but the rest of Europe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bob.
If there's one thing I just can't resist and not looking at is the cashew. There is Guyanese cashew and pepper sauce on sale, and this is a must. Especially when it comes to pepper pot and your Christmas cooking. This is where it is, and of course it's not to be missed. It's right here, cashew in abundance.
Colleen Douglas's stall, and these are her comics. Titan, The Mother of Monsters is issue 1, and she's selling them in a set from 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right, and that's it really.
Yeah, looking at comics, and if you're into comics and comic books, Titan has been one of the great series put together by Colleen Douglas, and Colleen has been doing some fantastic writing and artwork here on her book entitled Titan. God of Bad Men, there's the Nascence, if I'm correct, and there's quite a lot, and Samsara. You know, if you're into comics, you really will take you into that world of adventure where you can explore and get into a different world of reading. But yeah, this is also here at the Border Bazaar here in Christmas Bazaar in London. And then I could not help resisting visiting Jeannie's coconut oil products. And there are quite a lot here. I must admit I did buy myself some. I did last year and it was very, very good. My favorite was the sort of a spicy flavored coconut oil which is used for cooking. And that I was fortunate to get one bottle of. It was here. But Jeannie, I mean, coconut oil is really one of the good things we should all start using now. Very good for lots of our ailments, and it's also very good for your hair and lots that can be done. But yes, this is what it is. It's a nice day today, and with a great speech by the High Commissioner, Juanita Westmus and everyone, it is fantastic. Carl Browne here saying it was a great pleasure being here at the Border Bazaar, and yes, how else could we not celebrate? We're not in Guyana, but we over here in the UK, we are abroad, but still, we are forever Guyanese and still celebrating in our little way. Actually, it's a very fantastic day today. I mean, really, really good. Lots of people are coming through. There's a buzz. There's a sort of excitement around. And one of the good things about it is that I found that there's Guyanese products. We've got rums and we've got XM. XM of all, apart from the Eldorado. Finally, XM is here, and we have a variety of rums from Guyana now. So everything is beautiful, and we've got people passing in and saying hi and hello. And let's get back to some music by Keith Waite and his group. The music of Sahani Raz with Keith Waite, Aubrey Bryan in the background as we celebrate Christmas here in the UK, the Christmas Guyanese Bazaar. Thank you for looking, thank you for listening, and thank you for being here with me on YouTube. I do appreciate everyone that's been subscribing to my channel, and I look forward to being with you in the new year. For now, I'd like to wish you all a pleasant and a Merry Christmas. Of course, we've got a long road ahead, but keep smiling. And here's where again, Carl Browne saying to you, it has been a pleasure being with you as always.